start ThunderBolts. Oh! Welcome to Good Morning GoodNight presents the Book of Lore with Terrance Andrews and Nazer Nazer. We are going to be talking about the ThunderBolts movie today. We are going to touch up on the Odyssey Part 2, Part 1 on the main podcast, Good Morning GoodNight Episode 1. And this will be a new segment that we're going to do weekly with me and Terrance Andrews co-hosting, talking about mythology, comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, anime, history, combat tactics, and you name it. Just a quick disclaimer, this episode was recorded in a bit of a hurry, and we originally intended this to be part of the main podcast before deciding to do it in the subsection. So, I am still interviewing Terrance. However, every following episode after this will be co-hosted by me and Terrance as we talk about all of the mysteries of the lore of this world. Let's get right into it. We'll start off by talking about the ThunderBolts movie, the Marvel movie that just came out. Minor spoiler alert, we're not gonna spoil anything important. Nothing the trailer hasn't already spoiled. Like, what is up with that? Do you guys remember the old days when a trailer would make you excited for a movie instead of just revealing the entire movie? Like the majority of a movie these days is fun cameos, a couple of good jokes, and, the storyline. And guess what's in the trailer? The storyline, the few good jokes that are in a movie, Deadpool Wolverine doesn't count. And only cameos that matter. Like, you're watching a movie, you see a cameo from a character that you really love, and suddenly that movie's actually not as horrifyingly bad as it actually is. But then you see the cameo in the flipping trailer, and then it's like, what's even the point of... What's the point? Just ruin the entire surprise, man. And then there is the entire plot. Like, did you guys see the Fantastic Four trailer? I don't want to watch the movie now. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know everyone in the movie. I know everything that's happening in the movie. I know exactly how it begins and how it ends. Like, I don't want to watch. What is the point of watching? Like, ask me anything about the movie and I will tell you right now, and I haven't seen it at all. Gosh. Ugh. I want to go back to the old days when a trailer would be like, in a world driven mad with chaos. And then you get excited by it. Actually, we tried to design a trailer for our show. So me and Terrance are both writers as well. And we actually made an animated series. We wrote the first episode. We tried to get it published, but people are not interested in new IPs and brand new talent. So it's been a hard road to hoe. But we actually designed a trailer for it, and when we designed it, we were adamant not to include anything about the actual plot of it. We had like hints on character growth, hints about character personality, stuff like that, just like small tidbits, and the only like actual clips that we were gonna use were from the very first episode. That's how it's supposed to be. First 15 minutes, not a second more. Don't ruin the entire ending. Don't take the thing from the last 5 minutes of the movie and put it in the trailer. That's just, what's the point of watching the movie? And people wonder why people are like going to the cinemas less nowadays. Like, why would we go? What's the point of spending how many ever bucks it is now to go to a cinema and watch a movie when I've already seen it in the 30-second trailer that you just showed me? Like, that's really all we're watching in a regular day anyways. No one's watching a video over 30 seconds. Except for this one. Keep watching this. Please don't cut. Don't leave. Don't leave. Please just stay and watch the rest of this video. But, like, that's all we do. And then the trailers are just ruining the entire film industry. We live in a society where avoiding spoilers is practically impossible. You open up your phone and suddenly everyone in the world, every jack, sniper, and screwbolt is posting about everything that's just come out. Sometimes in like pre-releases, like weeks before it comes out or days before it comes out, they somehow get an early access cut and then they just post the video, spoiling everything. So like in this day, like it's practically impossible to avoid a spoiler. So like to be spoiled by the official trailer itself, it's unfair. It's what the WTF. And then they play these spoiler-filled trailers in the cinema while you're trying to watch a movie. I once had a spoiler trailer for the movie that I am about to watch, which I somehow managed to avoid, while I'm sitting there to watch the movie. Like, seriously, bruh? Seriously? Spoiler alert! Like, or spoiler giant barricade sign of red. So I think that's Terrance. He's here. We gotta get started. Alright, let's get into it. ThunderBolts.
Alright, let's get into ThunderBolts.
Okay. Yo, Terrance, welcome back. So you are also, in addition to mythology and history and social cultures and combat styles and fight. Wow, this list is long. But you're also an expert when it comes to Japanese combat stories, anime, and comic books. Wow, this list is long. Today we're focusing on comic books. The new Marvel movie, the ThunderBolts, just came out. You have not watched it, so we don't have to worry about spoilers. But I want to know about the characters in ThunderBolts, if they're connected to the Avengers, anything you can tell us about the new Avengers, and who is the Sentry or the Void?
Okay. Sorry, you can't just say that name in front of me and not expecting me to have a visceral reaction. But I will explain all the characters. Okay. So, where do we start? Where do we start? Let's start with... So do you want to start with the origin of the team, the Thunderbolts? Or do you want me to only focus on the characters who are confirmed to be in the movie?
Let's start with a basic summary of who are the Thunderbolts.
So the Thunderbolts are, as a team, is a very, very weird team. Basically, the concept originally, in the original comics, flashback time, was the Masters of Evil, who the arch foes of the Avengers, 7 supervillains, led by Baron Zemo, who you guys might remember from the Captain America movie.
The disco dancer!
Yeah, that guy. So, the Thunderbolts was a team of supervillains who ended up faking and pretending to be heroes, but then a bunch of them decided that they really liked being heroes.
Wow. Is it similar to the Suicide Squad, or like nothing alike?
It's more Secret Six than Suicide Squad. Like, the government isn't forcing them to do this. They did this on their own initiative as part of a scheme. But then they were like, man, being heroes kind of rocks.
Actually, I think I know that storyline somewhere. Like, where a supervillain pretends to be a hero and then eventually starts to like become a hero. That sounds like not a common trope, but like a familiar trope.
Yeah, it's the good feels good trope. Like, you do enough good, and then you get that positive feedback from doing good, and you just can't go back to evil. It's just like, man, being selfish.
Mega Mind. Despicable Me.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, now I know where I know that from.
So that's the original concept. There was a second team led by Norman Osborn during the Civil War Superhero Registration Act. But we don't talk about that one because we don't talk about the entirety of Civil War.
So the characters that are in the new movie, right?
Yeah.
Are the Winter Soldier.
Becky Barnes, yep.
Yeah, Black Widow's sister, Anaya.
Black Widow, Yelena Belova. Black Widow 2, the second Black Widow.
Oh, she's Black Widow 2?
Yeah, she officially took on the name. So she's Ava Starr as the Ghost, John Walker as U.S. Agent, and Alexi as Red Guard. Alexi as Red Garvey.
Yeah, okay. So those are the people that we know confirmed are in the movie. So let's talk about them.
All right, so let's start with Yelena Belova, who in the comics was... All right, so this is complicated. She was a Red Room trained assassin, and she did become the second Black Widow after Natasha. However, Natasha wasn't dead at the time she was MIA. It was a whole thing. In the comics, she was she also gained superpowers and became a version of the Super Adaptoid, and currently goes under the name White Widow.
The name White Widow has actually been mentioned before in previous movies or something, because I know the name White Widow from Marvel. So like, could that be a homage?
Yeah, it is a reference. She hasn't officially taken on the name yet.
But so then that could be foreshadowing, right?
Yep, it's foreshadowing. Yeah, she was originally trained to kill a Black Widow, but Black Widow did the whole Naruto talk no jutsu thing and made her take control of her own life. Very sweet, very romantic. Not romantic, but very sisterly, platonic, very beautiful.
Yeah, no, they not really a spoiler, but they used talk no jutsu multiple times in this movie.
Of course they did.
It was actually cringy. It was actually cringy and gag initiating.
Obviously, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, we all know him. Captain America's sidekick, thought dead, captured by the Russians, brainwashed, came back, was Captain America for a time. He really likes guns. Kind of a psychopath.
Wait, he was Captain America for a while?
Yeah. He during the early 2000s when Steve was missing, Bucky took his place for a little while.
This is actually interesting because there was this huge fan debate when The Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out, because the entire series was about Bucky Barnes not wanting to be the Winter Soldier anymore. And in the end of the movie, instead of saying like Captain America and someone else, they said Captain America and the Winter Soldier, to indicate that the Falcon is now Captain America, but Bucky Barnes is just the Winter Soldier. And people were saying it seems unfair. Like, we get why the Falcon should be the Captain America, but at the same time, it would have been better if maybe the Falcon took on a different title and Bucky inherited the Captain America title, or if or if like the Falcon did become Captain America, but Bucky inherited a new title instead.
Actually, they are talking about giving him the name White Wolf.
Ooh.
Which is interesting, but that also means we're never going to get Hunter, the White Wolf, T'Challa's white adopted brother.
T'Challa has a whole adopted brother?
Yes, we don't have time to explain that.
We will get to that in one of the next episodes.
Yeah. So other than that, we have Ava Starr, the Ghost, who is she is based on someone in the comics, but so much of her is changed that is basically just an in-name only thing, because the comics Ghost is a tech-based older white man whose powers come from his suit. Well,
in Ava's case, she's like some kind of energy being trapped in a human's body suit?
Yep.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. They made choices. They made choices during the adaptation process. It's the Ant-Man movies, yeah. Basically, she had a freak lab accident, phases through walls. She's a mixed race woman, phases through walls. The suit keeps her stable and on this dimensional plane. All kinds of stuff is very complicated.
And then the Red Guardian is basically just Russian Captain America, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like there's not really much to explain there. Like the way he is in the movie is basically the way he is in the comics.
All right.
John Walker, U.S. agent. They make him a little bit more pitiable in the movies, but that's about it.
Is he actually a good guy? Like, is he actually a hero?
Yeah, he's an anti-hero. He's an anti-hero, but like his main thing is he's such a government lapdog that he doesn't really he's one of those my country right or wrong types, which is why he clashes with the hero so much.
Gotcha.
And finally, Sentry sucks.
Is the Sentry a hero?
He is a hero. The Void is a part of him that is a villain, and Sentry sucks. I hate everything about the Sentry. Okay, so basically the problem with the Sentry is he is a living deus. Like everything people joke about Superman being a living deus ex machina, the Sentry actually is, who everyone hypes up as this great, untouchable, pure paragon hero. Yet he keeps working for villains, keeps being easily tricked, keeps killing a whole bunch of people. And the comics try to force you to love him, but no one actually does. Like everyone in the universe loves him, but I have not met an actual Sentry fan like in real life ever. Everyone just kind of hates him.
Really?
Yeah. He's a very base breaking character.
What do you mean by base breaking?
So usually a base is usually in a fan base you have all kinds of shades of gray. Some people love him, some people hate him. Many people have mixed feelings about him. No, with Sentry, you're either one of his very, very, very few fans, or you hate everything about him.
He's really that much of a douchey character or something? Like, because even with bad, evil villains, there are fans.
Dude, during the Dark Avengers run, he was Nate Osborn's pet killing machine with the mentality of a child, with more superpowers than Silver Age Superman. His entire origin is that he was a drugged up burnout who broke into a lab and drank a super serum trying to get high, and that gave him the powers of God and a split personality that murders people.
Wow. Okay.
Which is what the Void is.
Okay. We're almost out of time, so I'm just going to ask you a couple of quick questions. Specifically with Sentry as well. So, is Sentry stronger than Hyperion?
Yes. He has killed at least 2 versions of Hyperion that I remember.
Is he stronger than Captain Marvel?
Yeah. Sentry was explicitly stated to be the most powerful hero in Marvel when he was a thing. God, I hate this guy.
He was the most powerful hero in Captain. That's including people like Franklin Richards, Nate Summers.
That one's debatable because Franklin isn't so much a hero as a kid with superpowers.
Okay. But like Nate Summers.
But yeah, he was the most powerful superhero. He was strong enough to fight a mentally unstable Molecule Man. Now, Molecule Man was mentally unstable, which means he wasn't at full power, but still.
And I'm guessing Molecule Man is also one of the strongest.
Yeah, he's a molecule manipulating uber being.
Interesting. Well, one cool thing about Sentry in the movies is they made a lot of different choices to what you described.
Oh, thank God.
I won't say any of it here in case someone hasn't watched it, but I genuinely did like the character. The actor
That's good, at least.
Yeah, the actor was pretty good. He was pretty convincing. And from the moment he's introduced, there's a certain amount of likability to him. The only issue in the movie is they do that thing where like the people in the universe try to like him more than, and yeah, and one specific character, I won't name names, but it's more to do with the actor. The actor clearly had some difficulty with their voice modulation and lines, and they weren't able to perform at 100%, which is completely justifiable. As an actor myself, I can tell you it is 150% justifiable. But because of that, and this actor was specifically the one who was designed to be the one to make us like him. So every time they try to do something or say something that makes us feel like, oh my God, Sentry's such a nice guy, but then they do it without the proper emotions and proper acting abilities because they're so focused on getting their voice and their lines correctly that you end up feeling a little bit cringy towards them.
All right, that makes sense.
But as a character on his own, not like if this actor and this character weren't there and we just met the Sentry, he's a likable character in this movie. Like, you do like him.
All right, that's good at least.
Yeah, so I guess they made the right choice. It's usually when they take creative liberty, it's hit or miss.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on. We have a lot more to talk about when it comes to comic books. We have a lot more to talk about when it comes to because the new Marvel movies, the new Marvel phase is now going live. It's hitting hard. Things are changing again, and based on the ThunderBolts rating, it feels like Marvel might be coming back straight from death, just like Wolverine and Deadpool. And if that is the case, we want your opinion, man. We want to know more. And the next episode, I would love to pick your brain about the new Avengers. Get us ready for Doomsday. Stuff like that.
All right, I will do that.
All right, thank you so much, Terrance, for coming in.
All right, I'll see you next time.
See ya. Love ya. Bye.
Love you.
Okay, so my final review of Thunderbolts movie, I think it is a lot of fun. It was great fun to watch. It may have been a bit too long. Like, there were some scenes that stretched out far longer than they needed to make the impact of the movie be what it was supposed to be. In fact, kind of ruined the movement, the motion, the speed, the pacing, because it was a little too long. And my biggest criticism of the movie, I cannot stress this enough, it is completely justified, but as a trained actor myself, I couldn't help but notice it. It was kind of blaring in my face, and it was really frustrating. And that was that one of the actors who had a strong accent in the movie wasn't believable. Now, obviously, if you compare it to people like Tom Holland or David Tennant or even Daniel Radcliffe, it's kind of jarring because like they changed their accents insane. You know, like Henry Cavill, for example, it's crazy when you hear their real accents and then how they appear in the show and how natural those accents feel. It is crazy. It's insane, you know. But that takes years and years of years and years of dialect training, dialect coaching, all that stuff, and it is not easy, and it does require a certain knack to it. So I will never blame an actor for struggling with dialect when they're performing. I don't even know if this actor had a dialect coach. If they did, considering the time crunch of Marvel movies, the pressure, the amount of work, the stress and toll on your body, the heavy lights, the heavy makeup, everything that goes into making a movie like this, like, no blame whatsoever. But the end result is they are not believable. And it's not just that the accent is really bad, it's just that they are trying so hard to hold that accent that they lose their emotions, they lose their je ne sais quoi. They lose their believability. So they can be saying like really sad, heartwarming lines, and it just comes off bad. You know, it's like they're saying, "Oh no, my puppy just died." Like, I don't believe you. Like, I don't believe you. You know, it's like if something really bad happened, you're like, you murmur, you stutter, the emotions are in your face, you get sad and you feel it, even if the volume is in zero, you see that facial expression and you go, that person is sad. Like, the first thought that comes to my mind is literally Tom Holland in Endgame, when he's like literally being blinked out of existence. He's like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Like, you feel it with him. You're crying. You don't know why you're crying. You're not the one, you know, being blinked out of existence, but you see Tom Holland's face, you see that panic in his eyes, you hear the murmur in his voice, and your entire body feels it, and you're in tears. And in this case, it was just flat. And I think the worst part was there was this scene, oh my gosh, there was this scene where there was a heartwarming moment between this actor and another actor. I want to try not to say anything about it. It's not really a spoiler, but I'll still avoid it. And it's this heartwarming scene, and it's just like throughout the entire scene, you don't buy it. And then there's this whole like heartwarming music in the background, which hasn't been mixed properly because you can really hear the music, and it's just like cringe level 5,000. Like, oh my goodness, like, stop. And it ran for so long. It's like random example kind of things. Like, oh, you took my ice cream away. Your ice cream was the only thing that could save my life. But it was my ice cream. How could you take it away? And it's just like, oh my god, shut the flipsticks up. I don't want to hear you murmur anymore. Like, throughout that scene, my brain was kind of like, I don't know if this is an actual heartwarming moment or if it's meant to be a comedy. If it's meant to be like, this character is like just, messing with the other character. Because they do have that kind of a dynamic, and this was supposed to be the moment where the dynamic shifted and they're like, oh, actually like being heartfelt connected to each other. And it's just like you're watching this moment and it's so unbelievable. It's so over the top, cliche, cringeworthy level that you're just like, maybe this was meant to be that way. Maybe like a part of you just wondering, like, maybe they meant it as a joke, as a nod. Maybe it's like the person doesn't actually feel this way. They're not having an actual heartwarming moment. They're just like, like a little FU to this other person, like they're being sarcastic or something. But no, they were having an actual heartwarming moment. Based on all the scenes afterwards, that was an actual heartwarming moment. And then the heartwarming not romantic, I guess. It's more like platonic love. Yeah, let's go with that. Platonic love music in the background. It really nails in the fact that this is an actual meant to be heartwarming moment. But like, no. Just no. I couldn't sit through it. I was like holding in my lunch, which is saying something because it was well after dinner time when I watched it. And it was like regurgitating meals from 5 weeks ago because it was just that much chuck cringe. It was bad. And again, I don't blame the actor for this. It is hard to hold an accent and do emotions, especially in such a physically daunting film. And I have the luxury to criticize this because I'm not doing that. I'm doing voice, so it's a lot easier. And I'm doing it in a podcast format. I don't even have to act right now. Like, as an actor, I can tell you, even voice acting takes a huge toll on your body. And when you're on screen acting, like, don't get me started. I've forgotten lines. I've like lost consistency. I've lost characters. It happens all the time. And when you're in such a big budget, high-end movie, which I've never been, but I can assume, it is tenfold. It is exhausting. So I don't blame the actor for this in any way, but it is noticeable. And it is cringeworthy. And whoever thought that it was a good idea to amp that music up to 11, background ambience music is supposed to be unnoticeable. Every sound engineer in the world knows that. I will bet you anything that the sound engineer was like banging their head against the wall and someone else forced them to do this. They were probably like, that sound engineering stuff is supposed to be unnoticeable, right? Like, the best sound engineers are invisible. They're like the Phantom. They are shadows in the night. And you want it to be blaring in the background like a supernova explosion? You are... Like, I can feel the frustration from the sound engineer when this was probably being, like, forced onto them. But yes, it is noticeable and it is super cringe. And there are other moments like this. There are certain things where the emotional depth and value of the scene is really downplayed almost entirely because of this actor. This actor, they had a really hard time expressing their emotions on their face. And yeah, you could justify it by saying, oh, the character has trouble expressing those emotions as well. But like, there's one thing that like trained actors, trained voice actors, all of us know, is even if a character doesn't necessarily always express a certain emotion, like, you could be a happy little squirrel, right? But like, you find a way to still express that sadness, that grief, that the other spectrums of emotions, even with that voice, even with that characterization, even with that history. And it can be done in subtle ways. And when you do it, the audience does feel it. This was not there. And but I guess like for a layman, for a normal person, just watching the movie, just enjoying the action, the sound effects, the special effects, all that stuff, like, I guess you wouldn't really notice it. But for me, who enjoys the dialogue, who enjoys the actual story in a film, this was, like, blaring. This was blatantly un-okay. But that was probably my only bad criticism of the film. And it's sad that it comes down to that one actor. It's kind of sadder that the other actors were so much better that this actor's difficulties in acting was shown up even more. But yeah, so that's my only criticism. If you're a layman watching this movie, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna have a great time. Yes, those moments that are way too long are still there, but you know, you're eating your popcorn, you're having your hot dogs, you're, you know, munching down on nachos, chugging in your soft drinks. You're gonna be fine. But if you're a trained actor, be ready for a certain level of cringe. Maybe don't eat before you go to the movie so you don't puke all over the chair. Wow, we are already out of time for this episode. Okay, I guess we'll get to the Odyssey in episode 2 of the Book of Lore. I mean, I could try to squeeze it into episode 2 of Good Morning Goodnight, the main podcast.
Bro, we do not have time for that.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to cover on that one already. Yeah, we'll try to cover it in episode 2 of the Book of Lore. So I guess more new stuff in episode 3? Or we could probably try to squeeze something else into episode 2 of the Book of Lore. Okay, we'll see what to do, alright? We're gonna get Terrance back for this, obviously, and we're gonna co-host it together. So I'll get his opinion and we will try to get it to go. This is kind of experimental right now for this episode, and we're still trying to build everything, so please, please bear with us. It will get better, I swear. Thank you so much for sticking with us. This has been the Book of Lore with Terrance Andrews and me, Nazer Nazer. From now on, we'll be co-hosting it more, so there'll be more back and forth between us. It'll feel less like an interview that's been forced in, like a disc jockey in an orchestra. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be doing a lot more back and forth. It's gonna feel a lot more fluid because we're gonna be doing the whole thing together instead of me introducing it. We're still gonna be posting the main Good Morning Goodnight podcast. It's no longer gonna include Terrance Andrews in that because we're gonna have this one with him. But that one will still cover other interesting factoids, great hypotheticals. The next episode that we have is going to be talking about, so this is kind of funny. So we're going to say, are dragon dongs fireproof? But in reality, it's going to be talking about like animal evolution, how animals adapt to different environments, and then we're going to create our own hypothetical dragon that can breathe fire with as much science as we can muster. So we're gonna do all that good stuff. We're gonna talk about cool new or weird new news articles that comes up. We're still gonna talk about idioms and proverbs that are happening around the world. We'll probably discuss jack of all trades and how that came to be and what it really means. We'll eventually get to blood being thicker than water. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff we'll be talking about as we go through with that one. I already have a great interview set up with someone who's an expert in agriculture. He's also an expert in economics, but we might not get to the economics part, but we're definitely getting to his agriculture experience. And we'll be getting more and more people to come in for that one as well. So this one will be me and Terrance talking about all the things that Terrance knows. And then that one will be me on my own with Dragos, Rocker, and probably Hypey.
Hey, did you forget my name?
Calm down, buddy. And we're gonna be talking about just random news articles, stuff like that. Now, we are just getting started, so as we go through with this, as we keep going forward, we will start refining it. I would eventually like to have 3 different sub-podcasts. This one with Terrance, another one that I'm kind of planning in my head on where I want to take it. And then the main podcast, which will cover just fun random stuff. That is where we want to get to. Please comment, please subscribe, please like, please do all that good stuff. Let us know what you're interested in, because like we can also, like in the main podcast, we're also available to give different types of advice, different types of conversations. If you comment anything that where you have a question that you want answered, we're glad to answer it. You can even request one of the characters to do it, and I'll answer it in character. This is a super tolerant, no judgment, all people accepted zone of comfort and love. So please, please, please comment. Let us know if you have anything you want to say. And if you have any suggestions for how we can take the podcasts forward, please let us know as well. All right. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Have a great time. And enjoy the Book of Lore. And looking forward to seeing you at the next chapter.